sort of became more serious towards the end. I'd be interested to know if that's happened to either of you.
I think I have a similar style to yourself when it comes to the way I like to tell a story. I think I always have a bit of a darker element, even when I'm trying to write a really happy, jolly song. Like I have a song that's kind of, it's about being happy and living your life to the fullest, but I wrote it because someone I knew died. And they were somebody that had a really strong influence on me. So it was like, yeah, it was meant to be like a happy, jolly, life is great, but live while you can because you're all going to die, you know?
But you see, that's what I love about your songs, Caoimhe, without wanting to be sort of flattering, but I love that tension between the sadness and the happiness, and that there's always a sort of sense, which way is it going to go? And I think the best songs are like that. I mean, I think songs that are just depressing, I don't like, and songs which are just grinning from beginning to end, I can listen. I don't want to listen to that much. But those songs that have got what life is like, which is a kind of a tug of war between the two, are really interesting, I think.
Feels authentic.
Yeah,
I suppose. But then
who's next? I can't remember.
Me, is it?
It's
yeah, on my screen, you're pointing at Terence.
Right, my screen too, but it's Caoimhe.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to play you a song that I wrote not too long ago. I wrote it over one of the lockdowns, I think, or just after the lockdown. Yeah, I'm lying. It was after lockdown. So life was getting a bit more normal again, and it's kind of a love song to an extent. I don't really write love songs, but it's love-inspired song, maybe. And I rarely play it because I don't know, I've scared myself out of playing it. I don't think I can do it properly, even though I wrote it. So I'm going to start playing it and I'll get better and better. So yeah, this goes horribly wrong. It's the first try. It's called Waves That Break. So I hope you like it. If love is the question, then I know the answer. I found it in your arms. You know that I never could be a dancer, but you move me like a song. Oh, we grow so tall, then we crash and fall in the waves that break. I found my home. You bought me flowers and I cried for hours. I did not know how to feel. In the beginning it all is so thrilling, then it becomes far too real. Oh, we grow so tall, then we crash and fall in the waves that break. I feel so small. Oh, don't say that you'll take love away. I could not go on another day. If love is the question, then I know the answer. It hides behind every word. In the moments of longing, and then the belonging, and I've never felt so hurt. Oh, we grow so tall, then we crash and fall in the waves that break.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Such a
Well
lovely,
done, Queez. That was gorgeous.
lovely tune. Really nice. Such. It's got such feeling.
Thank you. So happy to hear that. Sometimes you write a song and you don't know, are people gonna
Is it
get
in
it?
open tuning? Is it?
Yeah.
You have. Have you done many songs like written like that before?
I have 3 songs that are in that specific tuning.
Yeah.
I was learning a Laura Marling song, and it was in that tuning, and then I just kind of started messing around. So I've no idea what any of the chords are.
Mm.
I just make the shapes and see what sounds all right, and then make up something. Yeah.
To freeze you up, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Take it away, Colm.
Calm.
Tune it to the sound of a day, as Joni used to say.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. This kind of dovetails with what Terence was saying about you don't know from the beginning. Sometimes you set out with the intention to write a humorous song, and then by the end of it, it's gone in a slightly different direction or a darker direction or whatever. And there's a commonality that I think only touring musicians share, where you speak in terms of blocks. So if I'm talking to a friend of mine and they're on the road with Celtic Woman, I'll say, okay, so May to September, there's no point in me asking you to go for coffee or whatever. So I'll see you in October. And you find that's fair enough when you're in your 20s, but you think, well, what's it going to be like if this is what we're going to be doing forever? Are the years going to go by in 5-year spaces of time, or 10-year, like decades and stuff like that? And so when I wrote this next song, I kind of had that in mind. And the whole song is set over the course of writing a letter to somebody to ask them how life is where they're currently situated. And then it's I don't tend to write from a personal narrative perspective, but I've splashes of this I have lived. And then by the end of it, the mission of the letter gets aborted, but you can kind of feel where it was going from the start. And this is a song called What's It Like in LA? Well, howdy, hello. It's been a long time, I know. It took me all day to sum up the news I'm sure you already know. Well, today felt a lot like yesterday. I'm sure tomorrow's gonna look quite the same. So that's why I asked, what's it like in LA? Do you still find the time, even just once in a while, to traipse Barnes and Noble, to read on the beach and then laugh till you cry? I never was one for the Palisades, and come to think about it, neither were you back then anyway. What's it like in LA? Home of the brave, Coca-Cola and jeans. We had thirsty to drink today, now it's kale and boiled string beans. And every morning's like a symphony, each night a serenade with a tune that goes. La da 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 dee, la da da dee, da 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 da. For now I'll just sign off anyway. I guess there wasn't much I wanted to say, except that it's late and something else, but hey, that can wait. What's it like in LA?
Great stuff.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Terence.
I love the letter, like a letter as a song. It made me think of Famous Blue Raincoat. I know it's like totally different.
Oh yeah,
Story, totally different thing.
4 in the
It made me think
morning.
of it. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I love that format. Because it's really, it like, again, like it feels really personal, you know? And like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be, but it can make something seem super, super personal when it's like a letter to someone, you know?
And I love that idea that there's a lot more that could be said. So you're talking about the surface of things, but underneath it all, there are all sorts of other things going on. I mean, that's a really clever song, I think.
thanks, Terence. Well, there's songs like Operator by Jim Croce, or Please Come to Boston, which is another one, and they're lovely. So effectively what the song is like, how's your mom? How's your dad? Do you still spend time in bookstores? Do you get to the beach? Oh, and I was gonna actually no, forget about it. That's the whole thing. That's all it is. So it's like, it could be an email, could be a text. Effectively, this guy's trying to. It's like when you say, "Oh, I won't bother you because I'm sure you have a million things going on, so I won't go there." And that's.
I'll tell you a great song in that, because I know it's going to go out of my increasingly unreliable brain. The great Willie Nelson song, "Ain't It Funny How Time Slips Away." That's one of those songs, exactly one of those songs. It was really good, and it's funny you should mention Jim Croce, because I was thinking that it had a really, I mean, this is not an insult, this is a compliment. It had a sort of 1970s vibe. That first chord you play is I think it's I've seen a James Taylor video, and I think he loves that. Do that first chord you play, that, and that's that. Yeah, come on, that's James Taylor, isn't it? Yeah. And
I love soundy sounding things.
Yeah, me too.
So I was wondering,
conversation.
Did it have any? Were you aware of any musical influences when you were writing that?
Only, I don't know why, but do you know this part? It feels like I promised myself to treat myself. I go to a 5 minor, which kind of reminded me a little bit of Alone Again Naturally.
Yeah,
but that's probably it. Yeah.
And you change key in the middle 8, do you? Or
that's no. Well, yeah, he changed the middle 8 that it goes to G.
Yeah.
Kind of the home of the brave, land of the free. So obviously,
I love that.
Yeah,
I loved it, the way it kept on shifting its mood subtly throughout. I thought it was a really clever song.
Thanks, Terence. Appreciate it. Now dazzle me with something.
Okay, so this is a song which when you go on tour together, because I have heard on the musical grapevine that Caoimhe and Colm are going to go touring soon together.
Where you live, so you're going to have to put up with us.
Yeah, no, I would. And any help.
We're staying in your house.
Yeah, you'll be so welcome. You'll be so welcome. So there's a song that I wrote a long, long time ago, and I'll probably mess it up, but it was written for a woman called Victoria Hart. It would almost not be sexist to call her a girl, because she was in her 20s, and she was doing an album, and she was doing 1 or 2 tracks in it. And Victoria, I overheard Victoria when we were doing a show somewhere. I heard of Victoria. Victoria had quite a sort of stellar, spectacular teens. She was discovered very early on as a singer, and then things had gone slightly wrong. And she was saying to some friends, talking about how things had gone well, and she just said, "It's only love that gets me." And that's, I just suddenly thought that would be such a good title. So I wrote this song for her. And so you've got to imagine that it's not a sad old bastard singing it. It's probably it's sort of a young, it's a woman, probably quite a young woman. So that's this song, and it's called "It's Only Love That Gets Me." Right. You can take me anywhere, I won't let you down. The life of the party, the talk of the town. Whatever you're needing, a poet or clown, it's only love that gets me. My friends say I'm lucky, I smile and agree. They envy my savoir-faire, my jeu d'esprit, but they must be crazy to want to be me. It's only love that gets me. I can hear the hounds of love at the closing of the day. Every night they're howling at the moon. All alone I'm waiting, such a willing prey, hoping that love will get me soon. Their deadly teeth, my aching heart, sweet surrender torn apart. But in the dawn, I'm all alone. Bring on my dancing days, my sparkling career. Bring on the future, I've nothing to fear. Wherever it leads me, I just couldn't care. It's only love that gets me. It's only love that gets me. And I tell myself it's only love. Thank you very much. Apologies. Apologies.
In the background is
Apologies for the. It's
There were
just.
times when it was in time. There were.
It wasn't even in the right key.
Oh my goodness! It was actually, do you know, it was funny because it was so sad. I found that song so well.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe relatable because I am a young woman. So I was like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
me. You know, that kind of. But no, like really sad. I loved it. I loved the line. Oh no, I'm gonna get it wrong now. But the line, like, I can be anything for you, poet or
Yeah.
clown, is it?
Poet or clown, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that line.
Had a very Sondheimy flavour to it, I thought, Terence.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's high praise.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Sondheim,
Well,
Stephen Sondheim.
I look forward to seeing it on your tour. I look forward to.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it too. It's gonna be deadly.
Yeah.
We should do a collab at some point.
Yeah.
Journey.
When is your tour? Do you know? That's Harry.
We haven't booked dates yet that we know of.
Hey, would
Hey,
you
Harry.
stop yapping? Would you stop yapping and get on with the show already?
Oh, Harry.
Part of the
Joke.
show, Harry. Part of the show.
I know. I'm only joking. I'm out. I'm away from Connecticut today. I'm on Long Island, so I left poor Lauren alone. Thank you, Lauren, for covering both spots there. And hello, everybody. Hello, Colm. Hello, Caoimhe. Hello, Terence.
Hi, Harry.
Oh, I missed you guys. And
Harry, we had some of your people from Gavin up in Dublin during the week. They're all asking for you.
oh, geez, who'd you have? Some of the lemons?
No, but neighbours of the ladies were up.
Oh, wow. And how's Leo? I haven't heard from him since.
He's good. Don't mind Leo. He doesn't know that he has a phone. Leo doesn't even know that Leo exists.
Oh, Jesus. So say hello to any names. Did you get any names from Gavin?
I didn't. They were just up at a coffee morning last Friday, and they were devastated that they hadn't met you. So,
Wow. I wonder if they're a relation to the Lettys.
well, they were certainly neighbours anyway, if nothing else. So,
Well, it would have been a treat to see them, but we'll be back over to do it again. And that's a real special place you got there, Colm. It really is quite a community you got. And
I look forward to it, Harry.
yeah, no, we miss all you guys. We really, truly do. We talk about it probably every day.
Oh,
So-
well, us too.
So thank you. Cheers. And I'm going to let you guys get on with the show. And Lauren, thank you very much for being there for everybody. We love you. And
Love
we'll
you,
talk
Harry.
to you later.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It's really sunny there. Like it.
So who's next? Caoimhe.
It's me. This song, I wrote this back when I was living in a place in Cork called Crosshaven. It was just gorgeous out there. It was like overlooking a bay. My house, I was up on a hill, and I was like overlooking this like place where there was like yachts and stuff. It was actually really rich people lived out there as well, so I felt like I was in good company, you know. I was in a house that was nearly falling down, but it was a gorgeous place, and I got to go to the sea every day. I got to swim in the sea whenever I wanted. It was just, that was the life for me. So this is it's kind of like it started as a love song to that place, and then it migrated into like a existential crisis. So that's what this song is. I hope you like it. Run into the waves and I feel free, and I know that life is good enough. But there are days that I really don't want to be. It's something I will never figure out. What do I want? What do I want? Saw a painting once that really made me cry, but even if I wanted to, I couldn't tell you why. I didn't feel the pain till tears were running down from my eyes. What do I want? What do I want? Oops. Can't figure out what that chord is meant to be. Oh no! I'll forget that bit. I've had this dream since I was 2 years old, but lately it's been feeling far away. Could it be that part of me is dead? All those little girls' dreams will stay forever in her head. Oh, what do I want? Ooh, what do I want? Except to be free. was an interesting version of that one.
Nice.
Minor breakdown in the middle, but we got there.
So you were saying that was from sort of your personal experience. I mean, do you write a lot of songs that are about you and about your experience, or do you sort of quite distance?
I always thought that I was like very, very distanced when I wrote songs, but now when I look at them properly, I think they're all based off of some experience or another, or like they all come from my own perspective. Even when I'm trying to write a story about somebody completely different, it's
about
always
you.
based on something very deep inside, I think.
Yeah.
What
That's
about
the way-
you, actually? That I find
Well,
that really
I was just going to say, because there was something you said which I thought was very wise about. I can't remember exactly. It was about your so I don't want to write. And it was something where you were talking about it just being about the song rather than about any particular individual. It just seemed a very sort of. Seems like you've got a very sort of very good attitude to. I mean, I don't know whether Colm agrees about how. You don't want to sort of bleed onto the page, but at the same time, if it's completely cold, it's not going to work. So you kind of want to tell stories which has got you sort of coming through in between the lines. I mean, I found humor is a defense mechanism. So I used to write mostly funny songs, and I've got more serious as I've got older. And I do think humor can be a way of getting away from feeling. Avoiding feeling. It's a mask. You know, as in life. But what do you think, Colm? I'm doing too much talking.
No, you're not. I was just listening to what you were saying, and I agree wholeheartedly. There was a quote. I can't remember if it was John Greenleaf Whittier or if it was who's the mad fella? Fear and Loathing. What's his name? The author.
Thompson.
Hunter Thompson said, "It's the job of the night people to take the day people's money." And I always felt musicians were the night people in that. Like, for example, tomorrow night, actually, myself and Caoimhe have a gig together. And so we'll meet up at the bar, you have a chit chat, you have a laugh, you have a drink. But then when you're out there and you're in the venue, it's all serious and it's a multitude of emotions. And as Caoimhe won't mind me telling you, because I think she referenced it last week, there was one performer, we were doing a show a few weeks ago, and Caoimhe was very moved by the song, and a sentiment that very much fitted where she was at mentally. And so those ship passing in the night moments are very surreal, because when you're there, it's songs, it's selling merch, it's engaging with the people. So it's a social environment, but not really, because you're working. And it's such a weird thing that everything you talk about is always from a third person, fourth person perspective. And the song, this dovetails nicely, because the song that I'm going to play, I wrote during the pandemic, and it's about human life written from the perspective of fish or aquatic mammals looking up. And it's called Laughing at a Turquoise Moon, because if you were looking through the blue, a white moon would appear turquoise, bluey. And it's these kind of sponge-bobby creatures who are saying, God, thank God we're not like them. Thank God we're simple people and not like those corrupt humans. And I'm sure, I'm singing this for Clint Collins and for Laurie too. Clint quoted it there, I'm a fish, what the hell would I know? And I wasn't trying to be too paradoxical or whatever, or filled it with metaphor, but when I wrote the song, I was looking at all these people. One side was protest and the other side was for, the other side was against. And pandemic or no pandemic, I'm sure there's times where people from other countries look at our countries and say, God, would they ever just get it all together? And it's very simple. It's a very simple mindset to be an outsider sometimes. But at the same time, there's always someone pointing at you saying, God love them, you know, especially as musicians, people will say, you know, and you can never do enough. Like next month, I have a show in a place called the National Stadium. Well, it's not my show. I'm playing on a bill, and it's like a 2,000 seater. And I was really proud to announce it. And then you meet someone in the village and like, how's it going? You still at the music? Are you? God love you. It's very hard, that old music. And it just kills you sometimes. Sometimes people just don't recognize the value of artistic things.
No, hang on, Colm. What should he have said? That's What did he say wrong? Should he have?
No. It's there's that phrase, "How's the music going?"
Yeah, how's
is like it's like an in joke that it's actually a condescending phrase. So when people say things like that, it's like like what Queeve was doing there. That's the way. It's not. It wasn't. It's not
like
coming from a whole.
Writers being saying, "Oh yeah, still scribbling away, are you?"
Exactly. Like it's kind of a condescending thing. But then if the next day you were, top of the pops, people would be saying, "Oh, getting fairly big for his boots." So you never win. That Irish cynicism, you never. There's no comfortable place to be, and that's kind of what this song is about in some sense. This is called "Laughing at a Turquoise Moon," or sometimes called "Nautical Lullaby," if you're putting the fish to sleep. Good afternoon, Lady Beluga. Ain't it sweet to be lost in the blue? High above us is wrought with confusion. I'm so glad that I'm down here with you. I have heard that those fickle sky ramblers cannot tell a friend from a foe. I guess teardrops soon give way to laughter. But I'm a fish, what the heck would I know? I'm just happy we don't swim for fortune, that we're content here in our own lagoon, where a day's never through till I'm dancing with you, laughing at a turquoise moon. The opulent pearls of Godiva, the rubies in Neptune's crown too, are delightful, but in my opinion, none of them shine as brightly as you. So haul away onto forever, in tandem, a sight to behold, and plunge to the depths of our ocean, where the coral reef sparkles like gold. I'm just happy I don't swim for fortune, that I'm content here in my own lagoon, where a day's never through till I'm dancing with you, laughing at a turquoise moon, laughing at a turquoise moon, laughing at a turquoise moon. A bit ringy there, but anyway. Thank you.
It was fantastic.
So gorgeous.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I love
really
the
nice.
whole basis behind that. It's like the opposite of the whole like being funny. It sounds like it should be funny, like fish talking to each other about how fucked up people are. But
Yeah.
instead it's like, I don't know. Is it because it's kind of like an innocence or something? Like when you think of those creatures like that, or I guess they're because it's like a simpler way of living, a simpler way of looking at life. That's what makes it so like deep and beautiful, as opposed to being like, oh, those fucked up people,
Fish. Yeah. I think in every walk of life, we're always doing that thing where if you're comparing yourself to a war-torn country and you say, geez, thank God, cross your T's, dot your I's, that's not us, or that someone else always says it harder. And what we don't realize is you're on the receiving end of the pointed finger sometimes as well. Not necessarily from another country, but from other people. Like the thing I said about how's the music going. You know, there's people who probably have passed me every day and say, God love that poor young fellow. Would he ever just hop on and stack some shelves or put out a few
You're an
bins?
intentional job.
I tell you, yeah, I've like,
Those phrases.
excuse my French, but like, F that, you know what I mean? There's no, I would only be doing that to make other people happy. If I went tomorrow and I got I just, you know, I can't even, I can't legally drive, but like drive a bus, you know, I'd only be doing it to keep other people happy. So while everything's content in the camp, or not just while everything's content in the camp, it's great that everything is, and it's great that this is what I get to do and what we get to do. But it's still a tough spot to be in. So you can never be too conscious of other people's opinions, because if you let it weigh in, it's just, not nice. Not nice.
Yeah. I'm sorry I left you there, Colm. It's just I'm having a canine nightmare. So first of all, I get my heartbreaking song, start it, she squeaks. Then just while I was chatting, she gets hold of one of my books, chews the corner. You see, there's one of my books, just carefully chewed the corner off it just while I was chatting. And now she's gone downstairs and she's barking. So it's just it's just a nightmare. I mean, Michelle would understand this. I was going to sing a different, is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to sing a different song, but Colm's, that last song sort of reminded me so much of the genesis of this song, and in a way the theme of it, although it's completely different.
It's not about fish, no.
It's not about a fish, but it is about animals.
Oh, really?
And it was written also in lockdown, and it also had the kind of same inspiration of looking at the human and the mess that humans are making of their world, and compare it to the natural world. So it was written almost exactly 3 years ago, and it's called Meanwhile. Banks are crashing, people clashing. You hit where today's opinion like the latest fashion. Roll up and join the show. Mum's a go-getter, dad's a trendsetter. Every day they tell the kids they must do better, 'cause life's just grab and go. Meanwhile, the swallows chatter in a clear blue sky. Meanwhile, a buzzard makes its lonely cry. While down below, a blackbird's going all day long. This world keeps rolling on. Latest news is some young flus is doing the you-know-what with you-know-who's is. The scandal and the shame. The wheel keeps spinning, the gamblers grinning, everybody's playing, but no one's winning. We're prisoners of the game. Meanwhile, a dragonfly hovers by the pond. Meanwhile, a fox creeps through the field beyond. A mother hare sniffs the air until that danger's gone. This world keeps rolling on. Now the light grows dimmer, fireflies shimmer, that old pond is all a glimmer. The sun is sinking low. The owls are calling, evening's falling. Somewhere in the undergrowth the mice are crawling. Into the night they go. Meanwhile we muddle and we struggle and we strive. Meanwhile we worry through our little life. Me and you, we're just passing through, so let's help it get along. This world keeps rolling on. Well, it was here when we got here, so let's help it keep on rolling after we are gone. This world keeps rolling on. Thank you.
Love it.
What I love about it is there's almost a Monty Python kind of flavor to it, because you can almost imagine like here's some poor bugger getting whipped and the skin torn off his back. Well, that's the way it goes. Life just keeps on going on, you know.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That specifically. Yeah.
Funny enough, it's funny you should say that, Colm, because the song that replaced, maybe I should sing it as the last song, was called That's the Way That It Goes. So maybe that was coming through in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was unprepared. That was I didn't play it very well, but still. Caoimhe, your go.
I'm gonna do an unprepared one as well. It's a song I haven't played in ages, and I don't know why I'm inclined to play it now. And just a disclaimer: if any of my family are watching, this is a song that I wrote about a loved one that passed away, and they might not want to hear it at this point. It's over a year since he passed, but it's a song that's very much a tribute to him, and I haven't played it for a lot of them yet, but I would love to share it if people would like to hear it, and if any of them would like to hear it, this is for you. But if you don't want to hear it, switch off now, because it might be a bit much. It is emotional, but rightfully so. He was a musician too, an absolutely incredible singer, a wonderful person. So hopefully you'll get that from the song. Okay. Whew. I once was a sailor, had to crawl out from the sea. I aimed for all my targets, but the world shot back at me. Hiding in the darkness, I forgot my way back home. Maybe it's just easier to live this life alone. Life without limits, soaring in my wildest dreams. No one ever lost a thing in that perfect fantasy. But how the walls were shattered when the messages cut through. Life lost a little color when we said goodbye to you. the sky back blue. I lose myself in framed and dated moments we've been through. We all thought we could make it, but the water's coming fast. Can love turn the end into beginnings of the past? I'm sorry, does not mean much when life has been so cruel. Now all that there is left to say is how much we'll miss you. How the walls were shattered when the messages cut through. So fill to me the parting glass to say goodbye to you. Thank you. Whoa, that was very difficult.
Really moving.
Thank you. I don't know how that went. I blacked out for the whole thing.
It's fantastic. It was really good.
You,
So have
you
you
just
not
spent the
before-
whole song doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Spasming.
proper. Yeah. Full on.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
No, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And John is with us.
Hey, John. The crack.
It's good to see you. That was lovely, Quiver. Thank you so much.
Oh, I thought when you said that, Queeve, what was your uncle's name?
Pat.
Okay, because I thought your uncle's name was John. I was like, oh, that's such a lovely thing to say, like that John's with us. But I
Oh.
realize now you're talking about John Lynch. Okay. Which is also great. But yeah, I just totally misread that. But yeah, beautiful song. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, I won't muck around too much with this one. It's nice to come on to Songwriters in the Round and kind of have no agenda and no set idea of what I'm going to play. So when people give requests, and it's also lovely when people give original song requests, I like to be able to do them. So Clint Collins asked for this one, and I'm going to dedicate this one to Laurie, who gave me a great book recommendation. And hopefully, Laurie, the tour will reach Canada at some point if the bus lives, if the wheels keep spinning. This is a song from my first album, A Voice for the Urban Darlings. And anyone who's curious, I have I've like 5 physical copies left of my most recent EP, the 1992 tapes. But I have a fresh batch of my first album, A Voice for the Urban Darling. So if you'd like a copy, a signed copy, just send me a little message or get me on my socials and I'll be happy to do that. And this song was originally written for another singer to sing, and someone who I've actually only started working with again, and it was floating around in my psyche when I made the first album. So it ended up going on my own, and this is called Loving You Through the Hardest Years. There's a darkened part of me that holds the wild things I've seen. Where I'm going, Lord, I still don't have a clue. But when you played your clarinet, or when you hold me just like that, After all the tears, I'll still be loving you. On the bright side of the street, humble pie tastes sugar sweet. When you kiss my lips, the old things look like new. It tastes a little bit like before, but in your arms there's something more. And through the hardest years, I'll still be loving you. Come walk across my floor, my door's wide open. The distance in your eyes is wearing thin. I felt the songbird take me higher, felt the nightlife burn like fire, but none compared to your touch against my skin. There is little left to tell of the day the cradle fell. I don't have much, but there's one thing I do. I have taught my hopes to hide, still I'll let you look inside. And for all my days I'll still be loving you. For all my days I'll still be loving you. For all my days I'll still be loving you. There we go.
Beautiful.
I can't
Thank
wait
you.
for this tour. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna be so glad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love your guitar work in that song.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
like jumps out. It's gorgeous.
When you play the same chords over and over again, you have to make them fluffy sometimes, you know. Just throw in a couple of
There were some lovely chords in there. There were some. They weren't. They it sounded fantastic. Really good.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Would it be possible for you two just to talk amongst yourselves while I just go and lock up this dog downstairs? Because
Would be possible,
I'm all
yeah.
alone. I'm all alone here, and I
It'll be
tremble to
interesting.
think what's going on downstairs. I just hear crashes and barking. I'll be back right in just a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It'll be incredibly difficult, Colm. We hardly ever speak.
He left his mic on, so you can just imagine beating the thing with a slipper, you know.
Get in the bed.
How many times do I have to tie you to a tree before you listen to me?
I got a good laugh at this now when he's watching it back.
Yeah. He just blocks all of us from everything, you know.
Oh God.
You got a question there, Caoimhe? Are the first two songs you played recorded anywhere? The one that
Oh
isn't the
yes.
song.
One of them is, yeah. The Waves That Break is on Spotify. Thank you very much for asking. Yeah, and the second song I hope will be up soon as well. I'll do a recording of it because it's ready. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place because I wrote it in a group of 3 songs and then I put 2 of them on Spotify and left the last one to rot. So I'll make sure to get it up there. Thank you.
Caoimhe, do you write every day? Do you write songs every day? How does it work?
No, I'd say I write bits every day, like tiny, like a line or a melody or an idea, but like I hardly ever keep them. You know, like a lot of ideas come into my head and then they go away again. If I sat down every day and put the time in, I probably could write a song every day. It'd be shite, but maybe eventually I'd get a few good ones out. But no, I don't. What about you? Like, what's your kind of?
I try to. I've always sort of worked every day, and I try to. I don't know whether you've. There was a program on the BBC about. There was an interview with Nick Cave, and he was writing. He was very interesting about songwriting, and he was saying that he hates songwriting. He hates the business of writing. He works from 9 to 5, and he finds it really difficult because it's just getting in touch with your own mediocrity, he said. I mean, this is Nick Cave, who has written some fantastic songs, and how he basically you have to go through the shit, and you just have to sit there. And it was just very interesting. And I think talking to professionals, to hearing songwriters, and it's the same with writers. I just think they're the ones. They don't believe inspiration. They're not waiting for the great inspiration to come and down and strike them. They know that occasionally you get a song that just lands on you and it's there, but mostly it's just hard work. And as you say, quite a lot of the stuff you abandon. So I think I just find it's very interesting that process.
Oh no, I've lost people.
What about you, Colm? Do you write every day?
I keep a 5-day week schedule, so not necessarily every day, and that sometimes lessens to 4 days a week or whatever. Yeah. But I do, and again, it doesn't always yield anything. But I find if you make the appointment with it, there's a greater likelihood of something happening.
Yeah.
You're an author, Terence. I mean, you know all about that, sitting down and just grinding it out.
But it's because it's been a profession. It's been, people ask about writer's block. And if you've got your the bank manager, there aren't bank managers anymore, but in the days when the bank manager took a very close interest in your finances, you can't afford to have a writer's block. So you just have to write every day. And I do believe in that. And I believe you just have to stick to it. I mean, it's not easy, as we know.
Yeah, but if it was, everybody be doing it, that'd be shit. So
exactly,
exactly.
And when you read people like Randy Newman and my heroes, and Randy Newman and Leonard Cohen, they all say, none of them say it's easy. None of them say it's easy. And even the stories that you hear about that make it sound easy, the yesterday story about Paul McCartney waking up and he dreamt this song. We think, God, if life was always like that. But with the bit in one interview, I heard him say he got this melody and he'd been working on it for weeks and weeks to try and find the words. And that's the bit you never hear in the stories. It's the working for weeks and weeks. He always skipped from I woke up and then yesterday was written. So I just think any good songwriter just has to go through the hard grind. I'm sure John would agree as well. Right? This was the song which, again, what Colm has said. All my script is sourced. My plans have gone. So this is a song which it's just the way that it's called The Way That It Goes, and this is a song which as Caoimhe was saying, this is one that was hanging around for quite a long time, and then eventually came out during lockdown. And I had the verses, but I didn't have the chorus, and then eventually the chorus it's not a very exciting chorus, but it's kind of fits. I was walking down the street, deals to make, folks to meet. I was a young man, I didn't give a damn. When a beggar with a cup stuck out a foot and tripped me up and held me with his bony hand. He said, "Where do you think you're going, sonny boy, as you hurry by?" He had a kind of leer, like the ancient mariner. He held me with his glittering eye. He said, "I may be dressed in rags and my home's a sleeping bag, and the world I used to know has turned to ash. Once I was talking, walking tall, and the world had the world by the balls, but now I'm down in the trash. There was a time, sonny boy, when I was just like you. But when we meet again, you'll see the madness and the pain with just the phase I'm going through. It's just the way of the world. You make the call and the cards will fall where they may. And in the way of the world, joker or king, to lose or to win, you've got to play. A few years down the line, no longer in my prime, I was in a pub to get myself a drink. When a woman at the bar with her skirt hitched up too far smiled at me and gave a gamey wink. He said, "Why, you look like you're lonely, lover boy, so middle-aged and blue. If you need some company, I just happen to be free. Tonight, babe, it's me and you." Whoa, what a night! It was like a knockdown drag-out fight. I was bruised, I was aching, I was sore. I tried to cuddle and to nest you. You were like a fragrant all-in wrestler with some moves I'd never seen before. She reached for a bottle by the morning light and poured me out a dram. She said, "Let's you and me get plastered, and I'll tell you about the bastards who made me the woman that I am." It's just the way of the world. You make the call and the cards will fall where they may. And the way of the world. Name or queen or somewhere in between, you've got to play. Well, the day will finally come when my earthly race is run and my loved ones will gather round my bed. As they gather near, they will expect to hear some weighty final words to be said. He's been around a bit, the poor old boy. His wisdom's been hard-earned. But I'll give him the surprise when I open up my eyes and tell him the one lesson I have learned. It's just the way of the world. You make the call and the cards will fall where they may. And in the way of the world, like it or not, that's the hand that you've got, so you've got to play. Knave or queen or somewhere in between, you've got to play. Joker or king, to lose or to win, you've got to play. Thank you very much. Slightly mad song.
It's mad in all the best ways. Yeah, no, I'm saying it again, but the guitar in that is exceptional as well. Really, really stand out and so cool. And I remember you played it, like when you played it in Ireland as well. It was like, oh my God, it was so cool. It's another level hearing songs face to face as well. You know, it sounds incredible over Zoom too, but you know.
Totally. And actually, Terence, I felt the same thing that Caoimhe was saying, is that songs of yours that I'd heard and found so funny and so witty took on a whole new level when there's a little bit of audience participation in between the beats, you know?
It's funny, and it's quite difficult to get that in the studio when you're recording. I don't think I've ever really done it. And there's something about certain songs which just, they sort of need a live audience in a way to get that feedback. And it's kind of difficult, but anyway, well, thanks for those thoughts. Yeah,
I think it's much better to be the kind of artist that it is like that live, that it's so engaging and so fantastic, and that you can't almost capture that energy in the studio, that you feel that, you know, because imagine if it was the other way around and it was totally amazing and fantastic in the studio, but then when you play it live, it's just not the same. Like, I feel like if you're going to pick one, that's the one to be.
I agree with that. Yeah.
The other thing is what you don't expect from presence, like John Lynch, who's here. When John's up on stage, it's like fee, fi, fo, fum, you know, there's just this daunting, powerful, giant presence, which adds when you watch that. You can't get that from a record. So when you see him in person, and sometimes he plays with a stomp. So when you hit the ground and the whole room shakes, nothing wraps you in a song like that. So that's another quality that comes on board with live performance.
That song that you all sang together with the harmony, what was that song, John, that you did, which you led, and then Oseen sang, and one of the Ben sang, and you sang. It was
The old triangle, I think.
yeah, the old triangle. Yeah. That just and it was just it's fantastic presence on stage. It's so impressive. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
That's good.
John.
John's playing with us tomorrow too.
Oh, deadly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are you playing tomorrow? I feel like I should fly over right now.
In Oris Cronon, in the venue you were in before.
Right.
Yep.
Don't forget your passport.
Colm, there's a word I'm looking for, and Terence, you might know what I'm talking about here. About John's music again. It's like we're really plugging John here, but like,
Yeah.
it's like a patriotic feeling or something. Like what you're saying, like the fee fi fo fum kind of thing. But I don't know what it is. Like what word?
Well, that's just because he's so tall.
No,
That's-
but it's
you could be singing anything.
it's like really Irish, but it's really proud as well. Like it's like when I hear John singing, it's like it's taking me back to like the and he does a lot of those songs, the kind of older Irish, and they're so I don't know, and even some of the covers that you do, you make them sound Irish, which is I think that's a really good gift to have. But there's a word, and I can't think of it, that would sum up
Earthy.
what you're like. Earthy, maybe. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It'll come to
I
me
know
sometime.
exactly what you mean, Queeve. I can't think of the word either.
Yeah. When I do, I'll send it to you in capital letters on Instagram or something, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, deadly.
He's a harbinger. Like there's certain songs of John's, like I don't recognize the city, it's not Dublin anymore. Hard to walk along the Liffey where the kids don't play no more. Now he's not talking about kids playing on the Liffey, but that thing of walking through like whether it's the Liberties or the Five Lamps, and you don't get a whack in the head from a football from kids playing five-a-side. That certain qualities like that of Dublin that seem to have vanished, that were even a part of my childhood as well. And you know, it's not that far in the distant past. But when he sings that song, it's almost kind of like a warning. It's like, if we let this slip too far away, there's no bringing it back.
Yeah, it's like a voice of the people, but kind of like a
He's really just
prophet
Nelson Mandela, but a bit taller.
Literally.
How much did John pay you for all this?
A lot. Quite a lot of money. I'm very well off.
Thanks,
I
guys.
suppose I better play my last song of the day. It was one of my it's one of the three songs that I said. So there was three songs that I wrote in this tuning. They were all written kind of close together, and this was the first one that I wrote. And it was over a period of time where I had like writer's block with songwriting, and I was worried that I wouldn't ever be able to get to that part again. I was worried that part of myself was just kind of gone or locked away from me or something. And then I wrote the song and was kind of like, oh, that's weird, because it's about that, but it's a paradox, because it's the answer to that question: will I ever write again? Well, yeah, here's the song.
Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called "Do Not Revive." So.
Quiva,
Oh,
just check your settings.
I know what it is. Original sound is on. My God, imagine after all this time, I'm still not able to use my Zoom.
Well,
Anyway.
you can use it perfectly. You were taken off by the internet, so it's not you. Love you.
Thank you. There's a place in my mind I never go, 'cause I can't get inside. I think it's why I don't write. I'm scared of the things I might learn if I try. that part of me died. But I had to kill it for my soul to survive. I pray every day and night no one will come and attempt to revive. I should fashion a sign. This heart is retired, so don't waste your time. A damaged and broken hand reached out for me but could not stand a chance. I might play along, pretend I'm someone with a will for romance, but I know it's not right. Dawn in a dress that was never my size. I'll make up a sign. This heart is retired, so don't waste your time. Oh. And how it's changed. What once was a dancer now rots in a cage. This looks like the place I used to go when my mind wasn't safe. I pray every day and night no one will come and attempt to revive. I'll make up a sign. This heart is retired, so don't waste your time. This looks like the place, but I can't be sure for how it's changed. Your love is a cage. This heart is retired, so don't waste your time. This heart is retired, so don't waste your time. This heart is retired, so don't waste your time. Thank you. I feel like I haven't played those songs in ages. It's great to play them again, or feel brave enough to play them again.
So it's interesting. Do you find it therapeutic writing? I mean, did you feel better after that song when it?
I think so. Yeah, particularly that one now. Like I'd say for lots of other songs, they're not as direct to something I was feeling at that time. Like I was saying, they're always based, like they're always a reflection of something maybe that happened to me years ago, or they're based around some experience I have, yeah, but they're not like directly related to a zone I'm in at that time usually. That one was, and yeah, I think as soon as I'd written it, it was like, oh, thank God. Like sigh of relief. Like, yeah, I can still write songs. And actually, I think at the time I thought that's the best one I've written so far. I thought it was a lot better than any of my earlier stuff, which was a lot simpler. I think there's a lot more going on in that melodically with the guitar. It's way more interesting. I think, than some of my other songs.
I think your songwriting is interesting because your early songs are very simple, and that's their great strength in a way. They've got this simplicity, but they've got real power with it. And as you've developed as a writer, it's become more complicated, but you've still got that feeling and power. So I really look forward to seeing what songs you write in the future.
Thank you. Thanks. That's really cool. I don't know what I'm reading.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, Caoimhe. Gorgeous. And during the performance, a couple of songs back, Michelle Pulver, commented that a cardinal bird came to her windowsill during the song. And what she said reminded me of one of my favorite Tom Waits songs. Tom Waits is like my dude. And one of my favorite songs of his from a compilation album called Orphans, is Bottom of the World. And there's a line, God's green hair is where I slept last. He balanced a diamond on a blade of grass and woke me up with a cardinal bird. And when I want to talk, he hangs on every word. And it just reminded me of that. So the song I'm going to close with is one of my own. And it's from my first album, A Voice for the Urban Darlings. And it's called Bye Bye, Little Bird. Bye, 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 little bird. And on account of all the wrong things that you've heard, there's nothing I can do or say to try to make you stay. So it's bye, 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 little bird. Bye, 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 little bird. You're now sailing toward the mountains that you preferred. Go forth, but think of me. Be everything you long to be. And bye, 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 little bird. To know there's someone to fly home to has surely made a man of me. But now my heart is a shipless ocean, from the thoughts of one I'll never see. Bye, 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 little bird. Although the reasons for our parting are absurd, to the one you love one day, I hope they never have to say bye, 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 little bird. Bye, 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 little bird. Bye, 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 little bird. There we go.
What are you trying to do to us? Oh my God. Thank God it's not a week or two ago. That's what I was saying to Lauren. I would have been on the floor.
It's okay, because the tears are pouring down my face. Thank you very much.
I'm barely holding it together here. That is stunning.
Thank you
So
very much.
sad. So beautiful. The image, everything about it is just right. I am going to cry now. Anyway, Colm.
Well, Terence said something earlier on, and it's a really fair point, because sometimes you use humor, or if it's not humor, like lightheartedness, to hide behind a bigger subject matter. And that's what that song was, because I kind of set myself the task to talk about something heavy, but to do it in a really simple way, and like a lullaby, like that sort of like twinkle twinkle doo doo doo. If you look behind, because you only just think of the melody, but if you listen to the words, a lot of the time there's some very deep, like "You Are My Sunshine," very simple. It's almost like a childlike melody, but the sentiment is heartache completely.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
thanks for the nice words.
it's beautiful. And Caoimhe, I think that's also why you might say your songs are simple when you were younger. But it's just what Colm said. There's so much power in the lyrics that each of you write all the time that just it takes you someplace else. And
Yeah. There were so many lines in that song. Like I was sending them to Lauren as you were playing them. Oh my God. My heart is a shipless ocean. My heart is a shipless ocean. How did you think of that? Like, I love that. And like, yeah, sure, it's simple, but it's also so powerful. And like every single person out there will understand that the second they hear it. Nobody's gonna be like, well,
right.
oh. Yeah.
You are so right.
I think there's a Tim Buckley song called "Song to the Siren," which later was it the Cocktail Twins? And there's a song, the line "Long afloat on shipless oceans, I tried all my best to smile," that I always loved. So the idea of a shipless ocean, I don't want Tim to come back from the grave and haunt me, But I like that idea. So I always wanted to work it in somewhere. So yeah,
You certainly did.
Thanks for noticing that one.
Yeah, and no, there was another one as well. Now hold on. It was like "Fly to the Mountains You Preferred," I think it was.
Sailing towards the mountains you preferred, yeah.
Sailing towards the mountains. Yeah. I love that.
Thanks so much.
There's so many different ways you could take that. Like each listener could have their own version of what that song means. And that's what I think is like the ultimate goal of a song, is for people to be able to assign their own life or meaning or whatever it is to it. Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. We could just stay all day. We don't have to go anywhere. This was an incredible show. All of you, Terence and Caoimhe and Colm, I don't have the words. Even if I wasn't crying, I wouldn't have the words. So, that's my excuse now, but it was a beautiful afternoon for me, and hopefully a beautiful evening for all of you. And I love this format because I love listening to you talk to each other. It's like we're in the room together, like we're passing the guitar person to person. And there's a power that a non-musician gets from hearing all of this and from learning about it. And it just, I don't know, it adds a layer to listening to all of your music. So thank you. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Lauren.
For willing to share. And hopefully when two of you are traveling in your van, you'll give us a heads up and maybe we'll pop over. Get Terence's address and we'll all.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get
around to my place
to come across the ocean, and we'll start doing it on this side because we really need to.
Yep, we do. So much so.
We really do. And I love you guys. And thank you for a wonderful afternoon. I now have 3 sleeping puppies, so I could go do any kind of work I want. They're asleep. So I love you guys, and thank you.
Thanks very much, Lauren. And
thanks
Colm,
Lauren.
and
Very soon.
Caoimhe.
See you, Terence. See you, Caoimhe.
Right now on our schedule, everybody who's here in the audience and you guys too, nobody was free next Thursday, the 1st. So far it's a blank day. So Colm, you can have a private show if you would like, because I know you're free.
well, I think we're gonna do, aren't we? We're gonna do a whole show soon.
I mean, if the 1st is too soon for you, then we can do it the next time.
No, it's not. Let's do it then. Let's do it. We'll start promoting it as soon as possible. And
okay.
We'll do it.
So we'll talk about it in a few minutes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye, everybody.
See you tomorrow, John. See you tomorrow, Caoimhe. See you, Terence. Great to see you. See you, Laurie, Michelle,
bye,
Brian.
Caoimhe. Bye, Lauren. Bye, John. Lovely to see you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Recording stopped.